Right. Zoom says we're live. YouTube is still loading up. But I have found that I can trust Zoom. If it says we're live, then we're live. So there I am. I can see myself. And it is Sunday. We're doing this on Sunday now. 7:45 in the East. This is, I think, my first Sunday pre-show. Steve, who goes by Tony in the chat, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Not a lot to talk about. Tonight's show is Giant Stadium 2008, July something. And it's our friend Maddie's last show that he's ever been to. 2008 or something. Oh my God, he hasn't seen Bruce in a long time. I saw him in 2013, 2014, 2016, 2023, and 2024. And Maddie said he hasn't seen him since this show that we are showing tonight, Giant Stadium 2008. It has been dubbed by me with good quality bootleg audio, not that sweet soundboard audio that my audience has become accustomed to, but still pretty good audio nonetheless. So the tour starts back up in it starts up in 3 days, and kind of looking forward to that. I'm sort of kind of bruised out on this 2023-2024 tour myself. I've been working on a Dead and Company show. I'm gonna release a video from Dead and Company's run here at the Sphere. I've been there 6 times now. There's been 12, so I've gone to half. There's been 12 shows, and I've gotten into 6. I tried really hard this weekend. Nobody was coming down to my price, and I can't go to all 30 at the kind of money that they were looking for this past weekend. Hopefully it goes back to the way it was the first 3 weekends where I was getting in for $60 and $75. I think one night I paid 100. Maddie, our friend Maddie, he threw in and paid one night and got me one of my best tickets for 125. But mostly I've gotten in for under 100. There was nothing. It was $200 a ticket this weekend. I can't pay 200 for one. If it was the last show, I could see myself paying, and I already have a ticket for the last show. But if it was the last show, I could see myself paying 200 a ticket. With 18 more shows to go, I got to be looking for $60 tickets. I'd like to get into half of them if I could keep my streak of half going. Then I'd get into 9 more, 15 out of 30. That'd be pretty cool. So a ticket. I had a ticket for yesterday lined up. There's a site called Cash or Trade. If you're not using it, it is the greatest ticket site. They do not allow you to sell over face value. So every ticket is supposedly at face or lower. People lie. They say they got it. They say they got it platinum, which is allowed. You can sell your platinum for whatever you paid. You're supposed to post a picture of your receipt proving you paid it. Nobody posts a picture. They just lie and say that they paid it. But most of the dead tickets are under face anyway. There's not a lot of Bruce tickets on there, but Bruce is in Europe. I've seen people looking for See Here Now on the site. I haven't seen them looking for any of the US shows coming up. And I haven't seen any posted there, but I'm sure as the shows get closer, people will post there. Right now, people are still trying to get more than face, so they can't post there. Anyway, I'm looking for $100 tops, and I'm sending this message to every single person on Cash or Trade that has a seat listed for 250, 275, 400, 700. Some people have them listed. They say they bought them VIP and they're looking to get 700 the day of the show. Like anyone who would pay $700 for a ticket doesn't already have their fucking ticket. Unbelievable. Some people are so fucking stupid. So I'm offering 100. I must have offered this to 150 people. Will you take 100? Will you take 100? Will you sell one for 100? People who listed a pair. Would you sell one for 100? I'll do 100 on that one. Can we get 100? Very few replies, some angry replies. And finally, I got a reply where the guy said, "Let's do it. $100. You're in." And I said, "Great." And then before I had the chance to buy it, he let somebody else buy it. He changed the price to 100 for me, And then when someone else clicked buy, he had on this site, person has to click he's willing to buy it, commit to buy it, and then the seller has to commit to sell it. And he committed to sell it to the fucking other guy. And anyway, it ruined my weekend. That was the ticket was for yesterday, but that was Friday, and I've been fucking miserable about it ever since, and it's not going away. Kind of a consolation. The show last night was not a show that, in retrospect, I would have wanted to pay $100 for. I'm kind of glad, but I'm still pissed. Well, I can't make up my mind if I'm glad he saved me 100, or it's just like I was so mad for so long that wasn't enough of a consolation. Sue, it's good to see you. Tom, thanks for making it. As I had mentioned to you by email, your friend Billy Joel had my favorite guitarist Trey Anastasio from Phish join him at Madison Square Garden last night. He also played Born to Run, not with Trey. Before Trey came out, Billy Joel played Born to Run last night, and you can find that on Facebook. Partial Born to Run. You can find that on Facebook, or send me a message and I'll send you a link, or send Tom a message. He'll send you the link that I sent him. Billy Joel and Trey. All right. Billy Joel has the record for the most sold out shows at Madison Square Garden, and Phish is second. And about 7 years ago, Billy Joel, as part of his residency at Madison Square Garden, said he wanted to play New Year's Eve at Madison Square Garden for his December one night a month. He plays one night a month, calls it a residency. So he wants to play New Year's Eve, and Madison Square Garden says, "Oh, Phish have a contract. They got the next 10 years locked up. They got Madison Square Garden for the 4 nights, the 3 nights leading up to New Year's Eve and New Year's Eve. It's Phish." And then Billy Joel supposedly made a comment, I think to Rolling Stone, that he can't believe he lost his arena that he's the king of to a glorified cover band, because I think that Billy Joel thought that Phish was a Grateful Dead cover band, which they're not. They just won over the Grateful Dead audience, mostly because they allowed taping at their shows, much like the Grateful Dead. And so tapes got made. Deadheads were tapers. Deadheads had the equipment. When Phish started allowing taping, Deadhead tapers started taping Phish and started sharing them with their Deadhead friends who they shared Dead tapes with. And before you know it, Phish had a big Deadhead following. They don't play music like the Dead. They don't cover the Dead. Very, very seldom. In their olden days, you can find some really old tapes where they played 1 or 2 Dead songs like once. And for some reason, because they've got the Dead audience, certain ignorant people like Billy Joel think they're a Grateful Dead cover band. They are not a cover band at all, let alone Grateful Dead. They do some covers, but after Billy Joel said that, they went like a year or something without playing any covers at all, just to show them up. They also, because he does 12 shows a year at Madison Square Garden, and he's very proud of selling out 12 shows a year, they put 13 shows at Madison Square Garden on sale the same month. That didn't even include their New Year's run. They just sort of said, you know what? We're just going to do 13 shows. I think it was in May. And they did 13 shows. They called it the Baker's Dozen. And then it was basically a fuck you to Billy Joel. We'll sell out 13 shows in the same month. We don't need a year to sell out 12. So they beat him. They beat him that year with 13 shows in a row, plus 4 New Year's Eve. And that was 7 years ago. There's been this bad blood between the two for a long time. And last night, it seems it was all patched up. They didn't really talk about the controversy, but Trey joined Billy Joel on stage. They sang 3 songs, including a Led Zeppelin cover, I think. I think it was You May Be Right, Sleeping with the Television On, and Been a Long Time Since I Rock and Rolled. And earlier in the show, Billy played Born to Run. So I'm looking for tapes from last night's Billy Joel show, put it together with my man Trey on guitar for some of the encore, and I am excited. I've seen, cell phone video, but I'm excited to put together the whole show and see what it looked like. So that leaves us with 5 minutes. That was my story about my ticket. Steve, who goes by Tony, I appreciate it. This is a bummer story. I'm still miserable. The guy who stole my ticket, uh, he reminds me of Del Griffith from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles when he stole Steve Martin's cab. I guess he didn't really realize he was stealing it. It was the cab driver's fault for driving off with the wrong fare in the back, just like it was the ticket seller's fault for accepting the $100 from the wrong guy and selling my ticket that I worked hard for that ticket, and some guy swooped in and just stole it. Really, really pissed me off. Are you seeing any other acts this year? I'm gonna see the Dead more. There's 18 more shows at the Sphere, and I'm gonna go see that. I don't have other plans. Everything's too expensive. If I could get in, Gaga is playing. I don't listen to pop music, and I don't listen to Lady Gaga, but whenever she's on Saturday Night Live, she always does like one solo piano song, and I've always enjoyed that. And she has a show that is jazz piano, solo jazz piano. That's not Poker Face or any of her pop songs. I would go see that if I could get a freebie. Um, I didn't go see Pearl Jam. I don't see myself going. I don't go to much at all anymore. I want to see some more Dead shows. Bruce isn't coming back here, and I'm not getting on a plane. So I would say it's unlikely that I will see any more live music acts this year besides more Dead and Company. 18 more shows. I'd really like to get into all of them. It's been a blast. You know what the Dead do? Exactly what all the Bruce fans wish Bruce would do. They play a different show every night. If you go to all 3 nights, there's 3 nights every weekend: Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And if you go to every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you will not see the same song twice in those 3 shows. And if you go week after week like I'm going, you'll see some repeats week by week, but no 2 shows are the same. It's not like a Thursday night show, a Friday night show, and a Saturday night show. They've played a ton of songs. Every show has had songs I haven't heard before. And shows I didn't go to have had songs that I've missed. There's been it's not a tour, but there's been residency premieres at every single show, and there's just an incredible amount of variety that makes you just want to keep on going back. We have 3 minutes. We're going to do this on Sundays for a while, and I'm going to keep trying to get into Dead and Company on Saturdays. Although if prices hang out the way they were this weekend, I might have already seen my last Dead and Company show. But until next week, I will see you in the chat.